The landlord has to do the following things to be in line with the law. So can your landlord evict you if he or she requires the premises for him or herself? Today's video, another edition of Toronto Tenancy Laws Explained. I'm going to explain it, go through the possibilities and probabilities, contingencies, all that. And yeah, let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. My contact information in the description box. Feel free to get in touch or don't, and subscribe, comment, rate, and review if you like this video. If you don't do any of those things. Anyways, let's get on with the video. So can your landlord kick you out, evict you before the term of your tenancy ends in order to occupy that rental unit? Let's start here. Yes, they can. They do have such an allowance according to the Residential Tenancies Act of Ontario. So let's go through it in detail, right? First off, the category, or rather the criteria that have to be met, is made up of several different factors. Your landlord has to require the premises either for him or herself, for an immediate family member, or a healthcare worker that is either assisting him or herself or an immediate family member. So a healthcare worker, for instance, let's think of, if unfortunately you do have a family member who is paralyzed or paraplegic or much older, and they require someone to stay with them during the times of the day in order to take care and caretake of them. That is an example you can think of. If that individual requires premises, then your landlord, under the Residential Tenancies Act, is allowed to ask you to evict the property in order to give the property to any of those people, including him or herself. However, there's a few conditions, right? You have some rights too as a tenant. Furthermore, there are a couple of things that the landlord has to do in order to compensate you for this, right? The landlord has to do the following things to be in line with the law. Number one, the landlord has to compensate the tenant minimum 1 month's rent. So let's say you rent a rental unit for $2,500 a month. Before the term of your tenancy ends, the landlord asks you to vacate the premises for these reasons. Legally speaking, they would have to reimburse you 1 month's rent, which in this example would be $2,500, irrespective of any deposits. Furthermore, and secondly, they would have to give you 60 days minimum notice. That's 2 months notice, right? They can't just spur this on you with a week or 2 weeks. Legally, they would have to provide the tenant with a 60 days notice period. Thirdly and lastly, the landlord can choose to compensate the tenant not via 1 month's compensation and reimbursement of the rent, but and instead providing the tenant with a new rental unit, of which the landlord, having now provided as compensation to the tenant a new rental unit for evicting the tenant from the incumbent rental unit, the landlord cannot, and I repeat, not charge the tenant deposit exceeding 1 month's rent. And that's it. Hopefully that was informative. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. My contact info, description box. Get in touch or don't. Subscribe, comment, rate, and review, or don't. I appreciate it. Thank you.